Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a lovely week so far. I hope you're all happy, healthy, and productive. Welcome Marjona Hainuk Anbuiti. Hi Khyber, Carolina Patel Ajim. Nice to see many of our students in the class ready to learn. In this class, everyone, we are looking at IELTS task 2 writing. We are going to be focusing on constructing Band 9 sentences and content for your next exam. Everyone, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Please visit us there. And for general IELTS, please visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have tons of practice exams, strategies, interactive courses. You can speak with other IELTS students and lots more. And today, tomorrow, and for Saturday, we have the best discount of the year for Black Friday. It's a 40%, that's right, a 40% discount code that you can use to buy our premium package. So make sure to buy it very quickly, because this coupon code or this discount code will disappear in the next few days. Our websites look like this. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background. You can click this big red button to join our premium package. We are an official British Council Test Registration Center certified agent, so you're in great hands with us. For the general IELTS, it's the green background. Click this big red button to join our premium package. We have lots and lots of successful IELTS students over the years. We are world leaders when it comes to IELTS exam preparation. We have the most popular YouTube channels and some of the most popular learning materials available on the web. Students, if you have any questions about our courses or our exams, you can send me an email at any time, adrian@aehelp.com, and I'll get back to you quickly. We do have apps. The apps connect to the websites, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. And we have Instagram, where you can get daily vocabulary, tips and tricks, and that's all for free. IELTS_AE Help and GIELTS Help. So lots and lots of help for you there to improve your communication and your language skills. And we've got lots of live classes. Tomorrow we'll have speaking part 3 for members, and we'll have some more task 2 writing as well. Okay, everyone, let's get into today's writing. So today's writing, IELTS task 2 writing, here it is. It is an interesting, provocative question today. Always think deeply about the question, read it carefully, okay? So step number 1, when you get to your IELTS task 2 writing, is read the question carefully. Read it twice, okay? Make sure that you understand it clearly, the way that the IELTS intended you to, okay? All right, so here we go. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Many people believe that quick forms of entertainment, like 1-minute movies, create problems concentrating on long tasks for youngsters. Others feel that this is harmless fun and youth still have a good ability to focus and pay attention. Which do you believe and why? Support your answer with explanations and examples from your experience. Now, in the IELTS, read carefully, slowly and carefully when you're doing this, okay, so that you understand the question 100%. Okay, here we go. Let's read it one more time. So one more time, nice and quick, read with me. Don't just listen, but read with me, okay? So you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Many people believe that quick forms of entertainment, like 1-minute movies, create problems concentrating on long tasks for youngsters. Others feel that this is harmless fun and youth still have a good ability to focus and pay attention. Which do you believe and why? Support your answers with explanations and examples from your experience. Okay, that's a very important part of this question. Write at least 250 words. All right, that's a good step one. What's step two? So step two should be what when you are doing this? Okay. What do you think? So we've got tons of students with us today. We've got our members, Kyber, we've got Arda, we've got Nikhaim Un, Teha, Shushila, Shaki, Arvindian. Okay, Arda says paraphrase. Okay, yep. Amu says paraphrase the question. Yeah, Sarah, before you write down ideas, the next step is to paraphrase. So rewrite the question using your own words, okay? So paraphrase the question, rewrite it using your own words so that you understand the question 110%. Okay? That means a complete understanding and then some. All right? You need to do that. Also, you gather some useful vocabulary. Okay? So that's what you want to do. You want to paraphrase it. So let's do that together. I'm going to paraphrase, you paraphrase, we'll compare what we do, and then we'll talk about it and go to the next step. So here we go. Many people believe that, okay? A lot of individuals ascertain. All right, so there's the paraphrase of the first part for me. I kind of went word by word, phrase by phrase here. So the original is, many people believe that quick forms of entertainment like 1-minute movies create problems concentrating on long tasks for youngsters. My paraphrase is, a lot of individuals ascertain that fast types of fun such as 60-second flicks cause difficulties focusing on prolonged responsibilities for youth. Okay? So a lot of individuals, many people, believe, ascertain. Quick forms of entertainment, fast types of fun. 1-minute movies, 60-second flicks. Create problems concentrating, cause difficulties focusing. Long tasks for youngsters, prolonged responsibility for youth. Okay? And then, opponents of this perceive that this is acceptable. and kids are nonetheless able to concentrate on tasks. Okay. All right. So there is my paraphrase. So the second part here is others feel that this is harmless, fun, and you'd still have a good ability to focus and pay attention. Which do you believe and why? So here I wrote opponents of this perceive that this is acceptable entertainment and kids are nonetheless able to concentrate on tasks. Okay. All right, so there is my paraphrase. Let's see what some of our students came up with. Hi, Tatul. Hi, Hardeep. Good to have you in the class. All right. Kyber says, a lot of individuals ascertain that short formats of amusement, such as 60-second movies, possess or pose, not possess, but pose, Kyber, pose problems on focusing for prolonged tasks for youngsters, while others disagree as they believe that this will unlikely cause harm and young people can still have the ability to focus on lengthy tasks. Which side do you agree with, and write your reasons for it? Okay, so Kyber used some good words here. Let's collect some vocabulary. Okay, so fun equals entertainment equals amusement. That's why it's called an amusement park. Okay, so amusement was a nice word, Kyber, that you used there. And prolonged, okay, so here we have long tasks, okay, which is also prolonged responsibility. So here's some paraphrasing of collocations in vocabulary. Responsibility. And Kyber here used another one. Kyber used lengthy tasks, which is also a good way. So that's some good paraphrasing there, Kyber. Well done. June writes, numerous individuals ascertain that short videos for recreation, such as 1-minute films, deprive young people's ability to focus on tasks for longer periods. However, others insist that this entertainment method cannot prevent youngsters from forming long attention spans. Which statement do you think is justified, and what are the reasons? Give explanations and examples to support your opinion. That's really nice paraphrasing. So June, for instance, uses the word longer periods. Okay, to paraphrase lengthy tasks, which is good, and also attention span. Okay, attention span is a really good collocation to learn, everyone. It means the amount of time a person sustains focus or concentration. Okay, so there's some really nice paraphrasing there. All right. Arda has some nice paraphrasing as well. Paulo writes, a lot of individuals advocate that short-length types of fun, such as 60-second videos, bring focus difficulties to big tasks for teenagers. Others think that this type of entertainment doesn't bring problems related to concentration, so young people do not lose their capability to focus on assigned work. Paulo, very good. I made a couple of corrections there. All right, everyone, so we've paraphrased the question, but this is not the introduction, okay? Contrary to popular belief, this is not an introduction, okay? A lot of students that think that if you paraphrase the question, you've created your introductory paragraph. That's not true, but it's still a good idea to paraphrase, okay? You can probably use this somewhere in your essay, at least pieces of it. So if you're in the computer-based exam, you can copy pieces into your essay when you use them. Maybe we'll do that today or tomorrow for sure. All right, so step one was to read the question twice carefully, right? That was our first step. And then step two was this step that we just did, which was paraphrasing, so that we understand the question clearly and get some vocabulary. Okay, step three. What is it? So what do we do in the next step? And this is happening very quickly, students. So again, I keep reminding you of this. You're only taking like 1 minute for the reading and the paraphrasing. Sarah says introduction. Dorna says thesis statement. Not yet, Dorna. Not yet, Sarah, because we don't really know what the introduction should be. And we need to get some more ideas. For task 2, you want to spend about 3-4 minutes preparing. Okay, so Mi Yan says figure out the topic and the controlling idea first so that you actually know what you're really writing about and that you can concentrate on that. Yeah, so identify the topic and the controlling idea of the question. Okay, so the topic in this case, what are we talking about? Okay, what's the focus of the topic here? Okay, so when you read this question, and let's just say, like, you know, the proctor in the IELTS exam walks around, and after you read the question, the proctor says, "Hey, so what are you writing about?" So, or in a classroom, the teacher asks you before you start writing your essay, "So what are you talking about?" or "What are you writing about?" What should be the response here? Okay. Kyber says watching 1-minute movies. No, Kyber, that is not correct. Paulo says modern entertainment. Okay. Yeah, so Mian says we're talking about quick forms of entertainment. Yeah, and to be more specific, what we're actually talking about is quick forms of entertainment for youth, specifically, right? So we're talking about quick forms of entertainment for youth. So you have to be able to identify this topic before you begin writing your essay, because if you don't, the quality of your essay will not be great. Okay, it's I don't want to say impossible, but it's nearly impossible to write a high-quality essay if you don't clearly know the topic. If you don't clearly know the topic, you're basically just going by luck that your essay is going to be accurate, okay? And you can't do that, right? You should never have a professional conversation, or you should never create professional writing when you don't clearly know the topic of what you're discussing. Okay, so quick forms of entertainment for youth, that's what we're discussing. And then what's the controlling idea? Okay, there's a very clear controlling idea here as well. Okay, yeah, Muhammad Karim gives some thumbs up and says, yeah, it's quick forms of entertainment for youth. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, and then the controlling idea, Meat says it's memes, reels, and short movies. Yeah. Okay, Arv Indian says, but quick forms of entertainment is not paraphrased. Arv Indian, if you recognize that, you got to go back and paraphrase it. Okay. All right, so what is the controlling idea? Okay, let's see. Anybody getting this controlling? I'm not seeing anybody with, okay, June says the effect of short videos on young people's concentration, harmful or not. Yeah, that absolutely is the controlling idea, June. So I'm just going to actually take exactly what you wrote in the chat and I'm going to copy it. So this is June's response here. And it's accurate. You can say it 10 different ways, but at the end of the day, this is what you need to write. Okay. So you need to write the effect of short entertainment, not videos necessarily, June, because it can be something else. It doesn't just have to be videos. So, you know, when we think about it, we think about videos, but it could be images, it could be music, so it could be other kinds of quick types of entertainment, like a quick chat, for example, as well. So the effect of short forms of entertainment. Okay. Be very careful, everyone. In the original question, it says, like 1-minute movies. This is just an example here. Okay? So you see the word like, all right? This is just an example, and the reason the IELTS does this in the question is to give you a little bit of clarity, like a little bit of help, like, oh, what do you mean, like short forms of entertainment? So quick forms of entertainment, and it's paraphrased here, fast types of fun, right? Fast types of amusement. Like 1-minute movies, but it doesn't mean only 1-minute movies. It means anything that's a quick form of entertainment, like a quick song, a quick joke, okay? A quick text message. So it could be other types of quick entertainment as well. So be careful about that. Don't get stuck on the idea of just 1-minute movies, okay? All right, so don't restrict your thinking, especially with an example. It's important. All right, so the effect of short forms of entertainment on young people's concentration, harmful or not? So is it harmful or not? Okay, good. Now the next step, everyone. So step 4 is apply critical thinking to the topic and controlling idea. Okay. So what that means is ask what, why, and how about the topic and controlling idea. Okay. So the topic here is quick forms of entertainment for youth. So what are quick forms of entertainment? Okay, so what are quick forms of entertainment? So explain that to me. And don't give me an example. Here, I just want the explanation. So think about this critically. This kind of thinking will really help you come up with great content for your essay, for your Band 8, Band 9 essay. And you have to do this in the official exam. You're doing this in your head. At home, you're doing this on the computer like I'm doing right now, because you want to train your brain to move quickly around such ideas, okay? So what are quick forms of entertainment? Arv Indian says it's entertainment with very less time. Better English, Arv Indian, it's entertainment that requires little time, okay? So amusement that requires little time. Okay? All right. Nabisha says that deliver content in short bursts and don't consume a lot of time. Amusement that requires little time in short bursts, like a minute or 2, okay, or even seconds. Now, when it only takes a little bit of time, remember, students, that time is almost always, not always, but almost always connected with effort, okay? So it doesn't require a lot of effort. So it often requires little effort. Whenever you're dealing with questions in the speaking or in the writing that are linked to time, and a lot of questions are, time is one of our dimensions, so it's also often linked to effort. Okay, so remember that. That's an important tip for your speaking and your writing. Okay, so remember that time and effort are frequently related. Okay, so keep that in mind. for your next IELTS exam. All right. Why? What's the next question? Okay, I'm not going to give you the whole question here. I want you to give me the question here, okay? So what do you think? Like, what would be the next question in my head if I have this topic? So these fast forms of entertainment, Harwinder, and you have a good idea there. What's the why question? And this is actually the tricky part, because asking the right questions to then answer in your writing is often more challenging than giving the answer. Once you have the question, you can give the answer, but it's coming up with the question that can be a little bit difficult. Okay, very good. So Paulo says, why do young people consume quick entertainment? Paulo, that's a really nice way to state it. So I'm actually going to just copy what you said there. I think that's fantastic. I was going to say, why is quick forms of entertainment so popular for young people? But I think this works just as well, Paulo. So why do young people consume quick forms of entertainment? Yeah, I think that's a good question. Harry Preet says, why is it eminent? Yeah, why is it eminent among youth? Not just youth, amongst others, but we're focusing on youth here, okay? So, why? Yeah, Arvinian, so why are youngsters entertained with less time? Raman, I am not on Cambly. We partner with them, but I'm not on Cambly. Sadaf says, because everything becomes very instant. So it's giving an answer. I don't know if that's a good answer. So if you say because it is instant, okay. I don't think this is a good answer. I don't think that actually gives any insight for this argument, okay? So, June says, it caters to young people's nature, more curiosity to new trends, but less patience. Okay, so it caters to young people's nature, okay, less patience and curious about many topics. Okay. Let's see, anybody else? Habib says because it saves time. All right. I'm going to look for some more answers, and then I'll let you know which one I think is the best, and you can decide for yourself as well. Harwinder says because they don't have to wait for the climax like a web series, okay? Because they can shift entertainment within a period, relaxation in a short amount of time, okay? All right, I'm going to give you a little bit of tips. Some of you may or may not know this, but my degree is in psychology, specifically in developmental psychology, so how we develop as people, and also psychometrics, like how do we measure thinking, like English, like a language, like an exam like IELTS. That's why I deal with IELTS. So when we look at human behavior. So when we look at, I'm going to give you kind of a general question here. Okay, so when we look at behavior, let me just do something here real quick, and then we'll get into it more. So when we look at human behavior, okay, like for instance, smoking, okay, and we try to think about the why question. So why does a human smoke? Or why does a human drink alcohol? Or why does a human like to watch a 1-minute video, right? A psychologist will often think about two perspectives, so two angles on this, okay? So when we want to explain human behavior, we can look at it from two dependent variables. Okay. What do you think? So what do you think those two are? So when we look at a behavior like smoking or like watching a 2-minute film, what are these? And the reason I'm teaching you this, like some of you are like, why are you, like, we're doing task 2 writing, why are you? Because I want you to think. If you want to get a band 7, 8, 9 on the IELTS, it's not so much about your English as about how you're approaching the question, how you're thinking about it, how you're explaining it. Okay, OIS, very good. So our member OIS is saying we approach it from the physical and the mental perspectives. Yeah, definitely, that's it, OIS. So when we want to explain human behavior, and a lot of IELTS task 2 questions, a lot of human communication is about human behavior, right? So we look at the physical and mental. Or another way that you can think about it is we look at the body and the mind. Okay? So let me go back to this question. So why do young people consume quick entertainment? Because it is instant. So it creates an instant physical satisfaction for the body, such as laughter, smiling, okay, feeling good. Now, if you're getting really technical, you can say a burst of serotonin, epinephrine, dopamine. Okay, these are your main neurotransmitters. Okay, so that's definitely one. Okay, now if we look at the mental, the social aspect of it, it allows for common pop culture to discuss and share with peers. Okay, so if you think about it, when you watch those 1-minute reels or 1-minute movies on Instagram or YouTube, you share them, right? You share them on Facebook, you show them to your friends, you're like, hey, check out this one, it's so funny, and then you laugh together, you can talk about it together, so there's that social aspect of it, right? Humans are social, so it allows for common pop culture to discuss and share with peers. It satisfies interests, okay? So you're interested in a topic, you look at 1-minute videos about it, okay? So we're looking at the physical and the mental, and when you remember these, so when you're thinking about your IELTS Task 2 question, you're going to come up with some great ideas. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I got some great ideas now for this Task 2 writing, okay? Why the youngsters do this, or why people do this. And then you can go on, okay, and then the how question, all right, to move along here. How does this work? When you think about the how question, simply think about examples, okay? So, examples. And when you think about examples, you can just think of like apps like TikTok, videos, Instagram Reels, okay, YouTube Shorts, text messages, memes, okay, those are the images, right? So it's not just videos, remember what I said, so you've got your memes, quick jokes, okay, all of those, right? So those would be quick forms of entertainment. All right, so that's thinking critically about the topic. Now, you want to think critically about the controlling ideas, okay, as well, all right? So what is lack of concentration? All right. So lack of concentration here, and some of the answers will come quickly, okay, and some will come a little bit slower. So the ones that come quickly, great. The ones that come slow, that's where you want to really pay attention. So what is lack of concentration? An inability to focus on the same task for long periods, like hours or days. Okay, I'm amazed sometimes when I ask people about what is concentration, they say, oh, it's the ability to focus on a task for a few hours. Yeah, but some tasks, like building a house, requires days, weeks, months. Okay, so there are tasks that require more than a few hours of concentration. Preparing for the IELTS exam would fall under that category. For the IELTS exam, people have to concentrate for 3 hours in the exam, but when you're studying for weeks or months, you're focusing on your IELTS studies, okay? So, all right, so that's good. Here comes the more difficult question. So what's the next question that I want to ask myself here? Based on this task 2, what should I ask next? Okay? Okay, so what's the why question? So Fatma says for the previous, an ability to sustain focus for a long time. Remember your quantitative information, students, like hours and days. That's the quantitative information. Okay, what's the why question here? Mian says, why do short forms of amusement affect the concentration, the attention span, Mian, of young people? Okay. All right. I think that's a very good question, Mian. Harwinder says, why is lack of concentration a bad thing? We're not actually talking about that, Harwinder. So we're not talking about why is lack of concentration a bad thing. That's maybe the next step, or that's another essay, but we're not necessarily discussing that. Yeah, so June says, why are short forms of fun detrimental to youth concentration? Okay. Himanshu, very good. So Himanshu also says, why do short forms of amusement affect concentration? Yeah, so why do short forms of entertainment have a bad effect on concentration? Okay, and what's the answer to that? So why? Why do short forms of entertainment have a bad effect on concentration? What do you think? Okay. So this is where it gets really interesting, because this is where you either agree or you take one side of this argument where you say, yes, short forms of entertainment are bad for the attention span of youth, or you take the other side of the argument and you say, well, it doesn't really affect it much. So here's where you have to come up with it, right? So what does it do? So Jack Williams says it prevents people from working and studying. So, okay, it interrupts other types of tasks that require long attention span. Okay, yeah, so it's an interruption, right? The key word here is it's interrupting. Okay, why is it interrupting? You might want to think about that here as well. Yeah, very good. So Harwinder says it's an addiction and people are distracted because of that. So in Harwinder's word, he says it's an addiction and you are downloading a lot of info into your mind in a short time. That's distracting. Yeah, so you have some really good information there, Harwinder. So it becomes an addiction which interferes with other tasks, like smoking, right? If you go out to have a cigarette, you are no longer paying attention to the task 100% that you were doing before, right? So it becomes a form of addiction that interferes with other kinds of tasks. And then you had another point there, Harwinder. You had 2 points actually within the same sentence. Okay, so it takes up time and energy that can be used, or that should be used, for longer tasks. Okay, let's see. So Oa says it causes auditory syndrome in brains. Yeah, it could even lead to some types of disorders. Okay, like hyperactive attention deficit disorder. Hasna says it pushes our adrenaline to do more and more. Mostly youngsters have lack in their management as well as procrastinating their tasks. Okay, yeah, so it develops a nervous system that is stimulated by quick forms of fun, and it requires this type of input. Yeah, and here again, if you continue with what I explained, remember that I said this very important part here, which is the body and the mind. Let me pick a good color for this one here, all right? So explaining human behavior, one really good trick is to think about the physical and the mental effects, okay? So when you're thinking about the answer to this question, and some of you got it, I don't know if you were really focusing on it this way, but you got it. So it interrupts mentally the longer tasks because you're curious what your friend is doing or what's happening in the world of memes. And it also affects physically because it becomes an addiction for the body. It creates a nervous system that becomes dependent on these quick stimulations. Okay, or stimuli is the word here, input of information. So here we now realize that we can make an easy argument that quick forms of entertainment are bad for youth's attention span because, okay, A and B. So here you can now create your thesis statement, okay? At home, I suggest going all the way and developing the what, why, how for both sides, thinking about it critically, really developing your thinking. In the IELTS exam, if I'm going through this in my head, at this point, I can create a very, very powerful thesis statement so that I can get some nice high band scores, okay? So my next step here, step 5, I believe, if I've got my count right, is to write a clear and powerful thesis statement based on my critical thinking, right? Okay, so do that, everyone. So write a nice thesis statement. It's the argument of your essay. It's the position of your essay. It tells the clear points of your argument for your reader. So this is the cornerstone of your essay. This is the most important sentence of your essay. I'm going to write a thesis, and then we'll compare, okay? You write a thesis statement as well. If you're not sure what you're doing, you can always send me an email to find out more about this. Okay, here we go. So All right. So there's my thesis statement. Always take a bit of extra time when you write your thesis statement, just like I did. So you probably saw me stop and think a little bit. I was thinking about different words to use. I'm using some of the words that I came up with during my critical thinking and paraphrasing. I was making sure that I have parallel grammar among my points. And I was making sure that it's clear for my reader, okay? So let's see what others came up with. Here we go. Let's see. Thesis statements. Nagame Un says, I think that short forms of entertainment have detrimental impact on youngsters' concentration ability in terms of physical and mental well-being. Very good, Nagame. That's very synonymous or similar with mine, and I think it's great. Okay. Habib, if you need classes for reading, check when we have reading classes. We'll have a class tomorrow, live class, and check out our website, okay? Students that have questions which are off topic, just send me an email, okay? All right. Arvinian says, as we are accustomed to short forms of entertainment, we cannot concentrate for long tasks like studying, reading, etc., which are so important for youth. Arvinian, don't use etc. It doesn't have value for your reader. It's like etc. what, right? Also, have some clear points that you're going to discuss in your essay. Moonlight writes, from my perspective, short forms of entertainment are not the underlying causes of not being able to concentrate when people are involved in doing exercises. Moonlight, we're speaking or we're writing specifically about youngsters, about youth. So be really careful about the subject in the question. We're not just talking about people in general, we're talking about youth, okay? All right, Arda writes, I think short versions of amusement play a negative role on teens' ability in focusing as it distracts them when youngsters are trying to concentrate on tasks, therefore they get addicted. Okay, Arda, I think you're putting some arguments into your thesis which should be in your body paragraph, so careful about that. June writes, I believe that short forms of amusement lead to young people's lack of attention because of distraction and addiction. Very good, June. So instead of saying body and mind, you said distraction and addiction. Distraction could be the mind, and addiction can be the body. So that works very well as well. Also, okay. So here I wrote, I believe that short forms of amusement do have a negative impact on children's attention spans as it affects both their body and mind. So here I could write as it affects both their attention and nervous system. Okay, so you can do it a different way like June did, is all I'm saying, okay? So body can be addiction, okay? So I could write as it is, so this would be an alternative, both addictive and distracting, okay? So I could write it like that. If I don't want to write body, I could write it's both addictive and instead of mind, and it's distracting. Okay, so you can do it like that as well. All right. Now I can write my introductory paragraph. Okay, so, and I know some of you are like, Adrian's crazy. It's like 40 minutes to come to the introduction. It's not crazy. It's just for the lesson. So in the real IELTS exam, all of this beginning part here is happening inside of your head. Okay, so all of this is happening inside of your brain, and your brain is very, very quick. That's why your brain can be amused by 30 seconds of entertainment, because it's very fast. It doesn't actually need as much time as you think it needs when you train it. Okay, if the brain has as much training to write and plan for an IELTS essay as it does watching Instagram or Facebook, you would all be writing like Leo Tolstoy, okay, or Charles Dickens. All right, so here we go, everyone. The introduction has 3 parts. It has a hook plus a background plus it has the thesis. Whoa, equals introduction, that's for sure, plus thesis. Okay, all right. So your introduction should always include your topic. Okay, all right. Millions of youth spend significant portions of their days with short forms of entertainment. Okay, so this is my hook. My hook is simply using my topic. My topic, remember all the way back here, is quick forms of entertainment for youth. Okay, millions of youth spend significant portions of their days with short forms of entertainment. It's just a simple, quick hook that introduces the topic. Okay, now all I have to do for my background is the why and the how. Okay, so all I'm doing is basically taking this and putting it in here for the background. Okay, so the background, this is my hook, and this is the nice part of doing this planning, is that once you have good planning, doing the introduction is almost instantaneous because you're just really putting it all together. Okay, so many companies produce short videos, pictures, and content to cater to children's curious nature and desire for instant gratification. Okay, so that's basically coming from this part here. So it caters to young people's nature, less patience, curious about many topics, it saves time, it's fun in a short amount of time. Okay, so that's where that comes from. It comes from this why question. Okay, so why young people consume quick entertainment. And then comes the thesis. Okay, so all we do here is we take the thesis and we plop it in. Okay, so there's the thesis. I believe that short forms of amusement do have a negative impact on children's attention spans, as it is both addictive and distracting in ways that prevent long-term concentration. Okay, so we'll keep it like that. There's my thesis, okay? And there is my Band 9 introductory paragraph. And now I can write a Band 9 essay, and the body paragraphs and the conclusion are going to be much faster and much clearer because I know exactly what I'm writing about. All right? Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see what people have written here. Okay, Un writes for the hook, there has been an increasing interest in short forms of relaxation among young people. Yeah, that's good. I wouldn't use relaxation, so I would use amusement or fun or entertainment here instead of relaxation. Okay. All right. Let's see, some more hooks. Okay. Paulo writes for the hook, short forms of entertainment have become popular in the last years, especially among youngsters. Between is two people. Paulo, youngsters is a whole group, so it's among the group, okay? Otherwise, it's a good hook, okay? Pachu for the thesis writes, in my opinion, short forms of amusement has had bad effects on concentration of youngsters for work and study. Pachu, you're focusing on where it's having problems, not why it's creating problems, okay? Be really careful about the question, Pachu, all right? Okay. So, very good, very nice work, everyone. This is our introductory paragraph, and tomorrow we're going to continue this essay and finish it with the body paragraphs and the conclusion. So, what I recommend for homework, everyone, is go through these steps and finish your introductory paragraph. Okay, I'll look at some of those tomorrow, and we'll start the class with that before we get into the body paragraphs and the conclusion. So tomorrow, same time for this class. And members, tomorrow we're going to have a speaking part 3. And in that speaking part 3, we'll do some more voice calls, okay? So make sure you're ready tomorrow for that as well, all right? And again, just a reminder for everyone, we have our Black Friday 40% discount code for the next few days. It's BLKF Day, Black Friday. You can use that on our websites at aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. This is our general IELTS website here at gieltshelp.com with this green background. You can click that big red button to join our premium package. This is our academic with the blue background. Click that to join our premium package there. Again, those websites are aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. Okay. Thank you so much, students, for being with me in this class, for giving me your long-term attention spans. Now everybody can get back to watching some reels and some memes. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay to do that a bit, but don't overdo it. All right, everyone. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating this class. It's fantastic. Thank you, members, for your support and participation, and thank you, viewers, for being here with me today. Have an awesome rest of your day. Have some rest, and do something fun that's long-term. Bye for now.